My name is Moushami Mukherjee and I teach the Introduction to Blackwell Studies course here at Loyola. When we talk about Black people, we just look at them as one homogeneous body, but it's not so. They're culturally very rich and very diverse. Even within one country in Africa, there's a lot of diversity. Even within the African American communities here in the United States, there's a lot of diversity. This belief comes straight traditionally from Africa, within the African American community and within the African diaspora community at large. The way religion is viewed is God is something immanent within you. Go to some of the Baptist churches, it's going to be very obvious to you the way people sing and dance, and they it's the joy and the energy and the spirit within. It's a very strong spiritual communion, and each and everybody in the congregation, they are absolutely involved in the worship, and through with the clapping of the hand or singing aloud and even rhythmic movement of the body along with the music. So this is part and parcel of the African tradition. Affirmative action is a very necessary policy for the progress of Black communities, not just here in the United States. I really don't like saying minority communities. When we were watching this documentary on the policy, affirmative action policy in Brazil, well, they are majority if you look at the demographic statistics in Brazil. But when you go to the schools and the universities, you go to these big offices, you don't see them because they have been marginalized and they have not been given access to avail of these opportunities and to go to these places. It takes a lot of resilience for somebody coming from these backgrounds to really overcome these hurdles and to even reach to the gates of a college. But one problem with the affirmative action policy has been here in the US and even in other parts of the world is somewhere there is a gap. There should be more resources available in inner city schools. In this documentary, some of the schools where they shot the documentary, and some of my kids in class here at Loyola, they were shocked to see the condition of the schools. It's very ironic, this is a direct quote from the Brown versus Board of Education case, this particular phrase, with all deliberate speed. Apparently, it seems like segregation has been rooted out and there is more equality, there is more opportunity, but in reality it's not so. How can you even expect them to overcome these lack of basics in their life and then perform at this level? So it once again leads to a very negative stereotype, and you don't find them performing at that level. You once again, this is something cultural. These people just don't want to study. We have given them all this quotas and all these opportunities, but they're not taking this opportunity. But why they're not taking this opportunity, I think it's very necessary to ask that question.
The plantation was more than an economic organization. It was a social organization as well. The planter and his slaves were part of an unusual class system. The sharp division of people into two main groups, the owners and the slaves, left a lasting influence on the society of the South.
Chicago school reform policy has been always a much debated issue, and of course I'm pretty much also aware of this whole charge of gentrification in the South Side and building of these smart schools. Who eventually are going to get benefited from these schools, whether it's really going to benefit the marginalized poor communities, or it's going to benefit the kids of those Fortune 500 companies. There's no denying the fact that there's a lot of homophobia among colored people and colored communities, but that does not mean that they are the ones who are solely responsible. And a lot of people within the Black community also have come forward, to speak out against, this negative labeling of the community for passing of this Proposition 8. Of course, I have come across a lot of homophobia among educated people too. But then once again, we all have so-called black holes in our knowledge base. There should be a basic general liberal arts and sciences education, which should incorporate issues of human life, human sexuality too, to inform people, and to clear them of their prejudices and get to know about life and reality, about the diversity of God's creation itself.